ist der erste, es kommt aus der erste Vorfahrt, Basim Yen, der erste Amsterdam, the start of the forerunners 2018 World Championships downward racing, Basim Yenni. And we have the first forerunner on the course, Basim Yenni from Switzerland, 280. This is not an official race. This is an opportunity for the race organizers, for the judges, for the result of timing system to test before the official 11:01 was win the women K1 Classic 4.4 kilometer ideal water level this morning, and brilliant sunshine, fantastic conditions, and speaking to the representative of the Swiss team last night, they said it's absolutely you might have the odd thunderstorm in the afternoon, but it doesn't look like we'll have persistent rain for the next few days, so we should be able to have those events, 2018 World Championships in ideal conditions. Yep. Ja, ich werde irgendwas. Ich werde einfach mit dem Bild arbeiten, das geboten wird, ja. Das ist live.
Also, ich werde jetzt auf einen Titel gehen. Kannst du mir den geben? Wir fangen gleich an.
Habe ich jetzt, dass du dich runterpegelst, wenn ich
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Championships in downriver racing on the Mota River in Switzerland. Ideal conditions here in Watertal in central Switzerland. We're very close to the main town of this canton, as this region is called. It's the town of Schwyz, and the Mota River, an attractive river to host those World Championships 2018. We have a very attractive morning, and into the early afternoon we'll see the decisions for the canoe classic race in the 5 different classes as we go through the day. We will start with the category of the K1 women. And we've got the 4 runners on the course, and in just over 3 minutes we will have the first official event, and about half an hour later, just after 11:30, we should have the name of the new world champion in the women K1 class. A very classic course, very attractive, all the way down to the finish in Riet, 4.4 kilometers, full of white water, very tricky, and one of the trickiest bits, only right at the finish, the old slalom course with the famous Mota Stein, Mota Rock, is just in the middle of the river, almost like a massive obstacle that the paddlers here have to get around in the best and fastest possible way. So very attractive course on the Mota River in Mortatal. It's 45 years since the Mortatal has seen the last World Championships. 1973, the International Canoe Federation hosted the slalom and the whitewater World Championships here in central Switzerland, and it's the first time in 45 years. So the Swiss Canoe Federation is hosting that event on behalf of the International Canoe Federation. And as we speak, we see the final wait for the first boat, and she's on the start line from France, Charlène Le Courvoisier. The river has seen a World Cup event last year in 2017, almost like a test run, a dry run for these World Championships this year. Very similar conditions last year in early June. And just for your reference, at the time the fastest the fastest paddler, conquered the course in just under 12 minutes, 7:56. Opens this race, Charlene Le Courvoisier. This is just a little bit above the village of Mortetal, and you can see some houses on the riverbank. This is basically the athletes entering the town, quite long-winded first stretch of the river. They paddle into Mortetal, they leave Mortetal, and they arrive down at the old slalom site, and will be faced with the difficulties of the Mortetal just about 400 meters before they get to the finish line down here where we sit in the commentary box. But the French girl is on the course, and we have Kei Honda from Japan. This bit number two, she is in the course. The 2018 World Championships were officially opened last night on the town hall of Mortetal. We had official speeches from the organizing committee president, the mayor of Mortetal, and we had a representative of the executive committee for the Swiss Canoe Federation. Finally representation of the International Canoe Federation opened the 2018 World Championships. Group 3, Sumida Natsumi from Japan. The paddlers start in a 1 minute interval every 60 seconds, and they are released in reverse order of the world ranking. So as we go through the category of the 13 K1 women standard, the athlete should get to it, so that's the reverse ranking of the International Canoe Federation. So to the end of the class, similar to skiing, good tennis, pretty comparable. Before Hamad in Japan. The boats are held, then they cross the timing, and after 4.4 kilometers they will cross the finish beam at the bridge down in Ried. Just for your reference, we bring you the first forerunner arriving at the finish line down in Ried. Basilieni, 13:43. You see that's over the 13 minutes mark. So we'll see how long it will take until we hit that 13 minutes mark. From Belgium, Laurent Sinesel, bib 5. Belgium, even though it's a country without its own whitewater, has been a very good whitewater nation. They always send athletes to whitewater events, to the World Championships, and they had some great success over the years, especially in the kayak classes, K1 men and K1 women. Fantastic conditions here. Sunshine, just a few clouds, and we've got the first Swiss, Hannah Müller, Hannah Müller, she came third at the World Cup last year here. A surprise to everyone watching it, apart from the insiders. They all knew her potential. A young paddler from the canoe club of Nidwalden, third last year, and she's aiming to get back on to the podium this year for World Championships. We've got another forerunner now in the lower part of the course. This is close to the finish line. You'll see the passage around the famous Motterstein, Motterrock, that all those who have been racing slalom in the 70s and 80s know very, very well. This is another forerunner just finishing. Another Belgian woman, Jorinde van der Sijpen. Just started in Hintertal, which means behind the valley, behind Motortal. And after 500 meters, they enter the town of Motortal, the village. It was a village with about 3,500 inhabitants, 3,500 people living there. That is a very, very large area that this community covers. It's one of the top 20 communities in terms of areas in Switzerland. And as we speak, we have the last forerunners finishing their course. Und die nächste Schweizerin ist unterwegs. Well, the next Swiss is on the course, Flavia Zimmermann. She came fifth here on her home course last year.
aufsetzen. Go Alessia, go, go, go. Und nochmal aus England kommt Victoria Murray. Sehr schön hier gefahren. Und jetzt steht er auf die Wunderbahn. Jetzt nochmal die letzten schnellen Schläge ansetzen. Go Victoria, go, 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 go! Mit einem großen Abstand zu. Perfekt, und da kommt Blue das auch wieder eine eigentlich schnellere Zeit.
As from the distance, she has been between her front competitor, but she is very fast and tries to sustain her position.
Nicht Hundertstel Torwerte entscheiden, sondern mit der Sekunde, wo die Strecke passiert, weil sie eben einerseits so lang ist und andererseits umland vor allem ganz, ganz schwierig ist.
Fersen ist. Martina Sadkova aus Tschechien. Hier mit ganz schnellen Schlägen. Sie hat ein
jede einzelne Schlag ist gesetzt. Da kommt Power, das Boot geht nach vorne. Wir sind sehr gespannt, für was. Leclerc. Sie hat eine sehr gute Linie gefahren, kommt jetzt Richtung Ziel. Es wird sehr spannend, was es für Zeiten im Zielraum gibt. Weltklassefahrerin. Jeder einzelne Schlag in der absoluten Beschleunigung. Das Boot läuft, das ist schnell. Das wird sehr spannend sein. Wer hat heute den Titel geholt im Weltmeister?
jetzt. Bevorzugt die Seite meistens. Es gibt eine Technik, wo man entweder das Bubble wechselt oder wo man übergreift.
das ist der Martin Medved, der Richtung Ziellinie fährt. Go Martin, go, 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 go!
Und schon bereits fast hinter Marek. Auch jetzt wieder. Bringt sie Kraft in Vorwärtsgeschwindigkeit.
Platz Nummer 2 aus Frankreich. Position number 2 from France, Manon Hossens. Und Platz Nummer 1 in dieser Kategorie. Position number 1 for Martina Satkova.
so, jetzt zählt vielleicht klein ganz drin. Also darfst du den Überholmanöver hier noch vor dem Ziel.
Wunderbare Schlagtechnik.
Silvan.
Ja, wir haben kurz Zwischenzeit. Und mit der Melanie ein paar Worte zu wechseln. Erstmal herzliche Gratulation.
bestgerankten 8 hier auf der Motocross-Strecke. Jetzt mit einer schönen Linie in der Mitte. Mattia Quintarelli hier fast war im Wasser. Position ici dans le bureau total.
Abstand, go Norman, hau rein, zeig uns, was du kannst, go, 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 go.
Abschluss von der C1-Kategorie. Insgesamt 60 Athleten am Start. 60. Also ein absolutes Riesenfeld, das wir hier werden haben. Jetzt geht es genau auf Fall.
And you're right, Rolf, after the
veel punten hebben, of veel ervaring hebben, worden goed mit Resultat gefahren sind. Die können gegen Schluss
Congratulations,
sicher in der Mitte des Flusses so viel Geschwindigkeit wie möglich über die Strecke zu rennen. Gehen weiter nach Japan, beziehungsweise da kommt nämlich Sportler der Shogo Okuda ist unterwegs. Sagt die letzte Passage an der Meister ist die Geschwindigkeit hier raus. Auch er hat einen kurzen Abstand zum Vordermann. Wir werden sehen nachher, wie sie
Sedlacek. Er füllt die Lücke, nachdem zwei Athleten nicht am Start sind.
Can you hear me? Sprechprobe, Sprechprobe. We have BIP 73, Kaylen Bassett from Australia, on this difficult course around Moorterstein, which is about 150 meters to go. And the last 50 meters for Kaylen Bassett from Australia, he's just over 13 minutes. finishing in a time of 13:09 in fourth position currently, 23 seconds down on the fastest time in that class. We've seen from the morning event that we have a faster race than last year, and a time of 30 minutes to beat. Cornel Brecher, the young Swiss lad, is with us. He is only 16 years old from the Kanu Club of Nidwalden, and he is just inside, it looks like, yes, just inside the 13 minutes mark. Second place for the young 16-year-old Cornel Brecher. Bib 75, Robin Havely, another Swiss, his teammate in the tricky Morterstein section. It's all about precision, it's all about getting the right line, making sure you're not hitting all those waves and stoppers, because you will lose valuable time. So let's see if he can just come in under the time that was delivered by his teammate Cornel Brecher, and it looks like he's beating that time, probably just outside the lead. 2.5 seconds out of the lead. Still Malek Andrej from Slovakia, 12 minutes 45. Be aware, last year the winner in the class had a time of 12:56. We just spoke to the Swiss national coach, and it seems we have about 3 cubics more water, which makes the river faster, therefore we have faster times this morning. So Malek from Slovakia ahead of Cornel Havely Robin from Switzerland in second place. We've got more than 60 athletes, well actually exactly 60 athletes in this fastest class of the event, the men K1. Athletes from 23 countries around the globe, all continents represented except Africa. We don't have any athletes no teams from Africa, but all the other countries, all the other continents, to be precise, are represented. From Japan, Otto Bungo, and he is now in the approach of the famous Morterstein, and that's the Morterstein he has ahead of himself. Does he go left? Does he go right? Coming on the left side, this side, from our camera position, would be the fastest. He had to go on the right, but he is safe, he is upright, and he's approaching the final section. A tricky passage here around 2 stoppers, and if you're not precise enough, you'll hit those big waves and you lose quite a bit of time. Be aware, at the end of the course, heavy arms, very lactic, and you still have to be very, very precise. A very difficult task. At the finish now, Otto Bungo, with a time just outside the 14 minutes mark, puts himself into 12th position. He is followed by his compatriot at the Morterstein. Got through there, final passage through those big waves, a big stopper here to follow. Gets right into the middle of it, loses valuable time. Kenji Deguchi, and he would probably will cross the line just around the 14 minutes mark. Very good conditions, about 38 cubics on the river Muota today, and Kenji at the finish, 12th position. For those who came a bit later, we have the unofficial results of the women's class. This morning we had a gold medal, a first gold medal for the Czech Republic. Martina Satkova, she won gold in the classic distance in the women. Ostens from France, Manon Ostens in silver, and the first medal for the host nation, the Swiss Melanie Mattis. We have Girotto Rafael from Brazil on the course. So as we said earlier, all the continents represented. South America is here with Brazil. North America is here with the United States of America. And Brazil sent quite a contingency to the beautiful Murtertal Valley in central Switzerland. We have Bib 80 now in the finish line. That's Dusan Makic from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And he goes into 8th position outside the 13 minutes. So the current lead is 12.5 minutes. Karel Slepica in the approach to the Murterstein. This is this very next one. He wants to come this side of the rock. Very nice line. Very nice line for the Czech Wojciech Zapletal. Karel Slepica just outside the 12 minutes. That will be an interesting paddler now to see at the finish line. He is in contention for that first place. Into the lead. We have a new leader. First place, Karel Slepica. From Belgium, Leo Motulet, 6.36 down. And in third, Czech Republic, Zapletal Wojciech. Czech, Belgium, Czech Republic, currently the top three. We still have about 30 paddlers to go. So we're pretty much halfway point through this fastest category, the kayak. For those who join us for the first time, kayak, you use a double-bladed paddle and you sit in your boat. You see very streamlined boats, 4 meter and 50 centimeters long, 60 centimeters wide at the width just behind the cockpit of the paddler. So we have approaching the difficult Murter rock, Mataja Bejovic from Serbia. He wants to come this side, got a good line and comes this side of the rock. Maybe just a little bit of wide line, lost a little bit of time, but that was a solid demonstration of his skills around the Murter rock and approaching these last big waves and stoppers. And again, he wants to go on the right of it is held back by the eddy slightly, loses a bit of time, but he seems to be very, very solid, the young athlete from Serbia.
Ist jetzt in den letzten Metern kämpft sie drin.
So that's an interesting one. Linus Bolzern, the quicker one of the two. He is just about to overtake Linus, 20 years old, young Swiss. He came 5th here last year. Can he repeat that performance? And he is well under 13 minutes. So he is about to take the lead here. Linus Bolzern from... Yes, we have a new leader from Switzerland, Linus Bolzern. 12:24 is the new mark, followed by Karel Slepica and the paddler from Belgium. A new leader, the second of the Junior World Championships last year in 2017. He was 5th here in the classic event at the World Cup with the seniors here in Murtertal. And it looks like he confirmed his performance from last year. We have a new leader, Linus Bolzern, Switzerland. We have some pictures from the start. The start just above the village of Murtertal, a village of about 3,500 people, and to start just outside. Then the paddler comes into Murtertal village, leaves it, and the pictures we have here now, that's our camera 3 and camera 4. We're just about 400 meters from the finish line. Marko Jovic in the attempt to get around this Murter rock. Difficult section. Did a very good job. Marko Jovic. It's Thursday morning, well, Thursday lunchtime here in Switzerland. Beautiful weather, ideal conditions, a lot of sunshine. Bit cloudy, and the weather frogs, the famous weather frogs, the forecasters here from Murtertal, and then they're known as the weather frogs. They said there might be a little bit of thunderstorm later, but for this classic event we should be absolutely safe. And it looks like once again the weather frogs were spot on. Marko Jovic, 16th position, just over a minute outside the lead. And we have from Spain, Jesus Leon Rodriguez, 7th position, just under 13 minutes. Just to compare, the winner last year in this class had a time of 12:56. It is exactly the same course as last year, so you wonder, well, how come he can beat that time from last year. Well, there is just a little bit more water coming down the Murter River. We had last year about 35 cubic meter per second, and now we're at about 38, which makes the water flow a bit faster, and that's reflected in the final times. We have an interesting German on the course, the under-23 world champion from 2017, Nico Pauthler. Good line around the Murter rock, maybe slightly sideways. Bib 89. So here we are. Pauthler overtook 88. Pauthler overtook 88 just around the Murter rock, and he is approaching the finish line, and that might just beat Linus Bolzen's time of just over 12:20, and Nico Pauther is into second. Second place, Nico Pauther, Germany, 1.96 down on Linus Bolzen. A very '23 world champion from 2017, and he goes into second position. In the lead still the young Swiss paddler Linus Bolzen, second at the Junior Worlds last year, fifth at the Malta World Cup here at the same venue, and now currently in the lead. We still have 29 paddlers to go, so a lot can happen. We are far away from final results here on the Malta River. A very traditional course. The course has seen many downriver whitewater competitions over the years, and we have to look back 45 years in our diaries to find the very last time when the World Championships in downriver racing were held here in Murtertal. 1973 World Championships on the Malta River. At that time, together with the slalom discipline, and now 45 years later, there's a reunion today. The Swiss Canoe Federation invited the legends of Swiss canoeing, of Swiss canoe sports, and we've seen the famous Miloslav Dufek, the inventor of the and his wife this morning in the reunion, was about 120 other legends of Swiss canoeing. They got together with the new generation of paddlers, Swiss paddlers, and they joined them here at the banks, the river banks of the Murta. So from here, from the commentary box, a big welcome to all those Swiss legends from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. What a pleasure it was to see you all, welcome you all this morning on the Murta River. And one of them, Milo Dufek, the founder of the Dufek stroke in the 50s. It seems to be quite a long time ago. So welcome, legends of Swiss canoeing, and I hope you all enjoy being with the to-be legends of Swiss canoeing today on the Murta River. We have the current ranking. While we were on it, we have a new leader, just 0.64 seconds ahead. We have the young Italian who took the lead, Urbani Federico. He took the lead, just under a second ahead of the young Swiss guy. So the race is really hotting up, and just for your understanding, the further we get in the category, the faster the athlete should be. They are put on the start list based on their current world ranking. So there's lots to come from the last about 25 paddlers to come. Currently approaching the finish line, Christopher Kremslehner. He has been around the blocks for quite some time. He's the Austrian champion, 30 years old, and he proved in the past that he can paddle a slalom boat as well. So he's a very versatile paddler. Comes in 10th position. So we have one of the British, quite a big British contingency at the start. Very nice line around, very nice fast line around the Malta Rock. now approaching the last tricky waves and stoppers. You want to be on the right side, just avoiding those big waves to make sure he gets fast time. You see he needs to correct his stroke a little bit, position his boat back onto the ideal line. Robert Jeffries, he's not only in a boat and likes to paddle, but as one of his hobbies he likes power boating. So that's Robert Jeffries, and just under 13 minutes, and he finishes the 4.4 kilometer course in a time of 12:54.97 in 12th position. This is a view of the start. McNally Audrin from Ireland, and moving down to the Mortarok. Two paddlers, that's exciting to watch. Two paddlers, one is catching the other one. It looks like the one ahead overtook. So 96, we want to have a look at 96, Adam Satke from the Czech Republic. He hasn't reached 12 minutes yet, so he overtook 95. That's the Serbian paddler Sreten Bilic, but all eyes at the moment on Adam Satke. He hasn't completed 12 minutes yet, and he can see the finish line. Do we see the new leader here? Adam Satke, Czech Republic. It's 12:23 to beat. And yes, a new leader from the Czech Republic, Adam Satke, 12:09.4. (12:09), 14 seconds he put between himself and the young Italian, and just a little bit more between himself and the young Swiss guy. So the new leader from the Czech Republic, Adam Satke. We still have 23 paddlers. They are released at the start in a 1-minute interval, waiting and focusing in the final approach. That was Nicky Cresser from Britain, but all eyes now on the Aussie, Alex McIntyre, approaching the Mortarok. Yes, he gets a good line here. Very balanced, very tricky, very streamlined boats, but tricky to balance them. So it takes many years, decades to work on those skills to paddle a river like the Mortar River. 96 from Australia, Alex McIntyre. For those who only just joined us, this is the third category this morning, the men K1, and there one more class to follow after that. Alex McIntyre, 13th position, 44.5 seconds down on the leader from the Czech Republic. So we have one more class to go in this classic race of the World Championships 2018 in Watertal. The men K1 class will be followed by the C1 women. But let's focus on what's happening right now from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Anes Sudic with bib 98. Seems to have had a good line down here in the finish challenges, the finish area. He can see the finish line now. He just comes in under the 13 minutes mark. And we go to the Belgium. So actually the question at the moment is, we have the lead, Adam Satke at 12:09. Will we soon see the first athlete hitting the 12-minute mark? do we get an 11 in front of the result? So at the moment 12:09 is the mark set by Adam Satke. Samuel Pipe from Belgium into 7th position at the moment. Satke, Urbani, Bolzern, and then Paufler in 4th position. His teammate now on the course, just past the motor rock, Björn Bartel from the German team. He's a junior world and European champion. He was 17s last year here, and he wants to get into the top 10. Gets a big hit. You could just see he didn't quite get the ideal line, a little bit to the left, and hit that stopper. That definitely cost a bit of time. And not only that, he was slowed down, has to accelerate now into the finish line. Björn Bartel, 6th position in 12:32. Definitely lost quite a bit of time there at the coming out of the final stopper section. Gerhard Schmid. He has come a bit of age. He has been around. He turned 40. He was 3rd at the Worlds in 2008, and at the age of 39 last year, he came 6th. And he only is just hitting the 12 minutes mark. That looks like another great performance of Gerhard Schmid, the Austrian champion. He goes into 2nd place, 12:18:37. Just under 9 seconds behind the Czech. Into 2nd, Gerhard Schmid. And we should have the next Swiss. Here he is, Nico Meyer from Solothurn. Solothurn, the kayak farer. He's 23 years old. He was 18th here last year on the Water World Cup. He is coached by Christian Amstutz and by Marcel Eichenberger, the 2 coaches of the Swiss national team. Nico Meyer approaching the finish line. He has an internal fight with Linus Bolzen, just outside his teammate's time of 12:24, into 7th at 12:28. An interesting paddler with 44 to come after the Italian Andrea Bernardi. Will waiting and curious to see the next German, Finn Hartstein, who will follow with the BIP 44. But before we get there, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We've got Andrea Bernardi, Italia. Final section, got around nicely on the right of those stoppers, those big waves. And a last effort, a last time accelerating his boat. 10 kilos, those boats, was Kevlar, a carbon. And he will be outside the current lead. He stays in the top 10, 12:32. Here we go, the second of the under 23 World Championships last year in 2017. He's the first time properly in the senior category. Finn Hartstein, 12:09 the time to beat. He's got another 8 seconds to go. He probably just stays outside. Very tight racing. Finn Hartstein just outside, but goes into 2nd place. Finn Hartstein 12.11s, just short of 2 seconds outside the current lead. Adam Satke, Finn Hartstein and Gerhard Schmid from Austria currently in third. Pit 105, that is Savic Darko, the national champion of Bosnia and Herzegovina, getting a good line on the left of the Mortarstein. Focusing one last time to get the line fine down here. The wavy, stoppery section, about 200 meters above the finish line. A little correction stroke on the right. And off we go, final acceleration for the paddler from Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Hat die Strecke bisher sehr gut gemeistert.
And after 4.4 kilometers, he finishes the line at 12:32 in 11th position. We've got another Czech, the Czech Republic in the lead at the moment. And this is Filip Rich. So he is trying to beat his teammate. However, that time seems to have gone. Just remember Adam Satke's leading time, 12:09. That has just gone now. So he is fighting for the places. Quite a lot of spectators along the course. It's a normal Thursday working day here in Switzerland, and spectators came quite in numbers. Filip Rich, 9th position. We are approaching the business end of this class, of the men K1. Alderan McNally, the Irish champion on the Mortar Rock, just hitting the 12 minutes mark now. And then we have another 12 paddlers, the fastest paddlers of this category. They have earned that start position through World Cups, World Championships over the years, similar to tennis, similar to skiing. There is a ranking list of the International Canoe Federation, the ICF ranking list, and they start here in reverse order. So Alderan McNally on the finish line now, 16s, half a minute down on the current leader from the Czech Republic, Adam Satke. From Belgium, Bram Sikkens. Lost a little bit of time in this last stopper move. Needed a correction stroke. Boat slows down and now accelerating a last time into the finish line. He'll be outside the current leader and goes into the top 10. 8th for the Belgian paddler Bram Sikkens. Great Britain, Nicky Cresser, a great result a year ago here. The 37 years old seasoned paddler from Great Britain came 7th here on this river. Very experienced paddler, not only experienced in downriver racing, but a very, very good paddler in the slalom boat. So technically very, very gifted, very experienced, and last year, to the surprise of everyone, finished in the 7th. And again, look at that time. He is just outside the lead, but that'll be a top 10 again for the moment. Into fourth position, Nicky Cressa, 7th last year, currently lying in fourth. That's another cracking performance of the 37-year-old British champion Nicky Cressa. Jean-Paul, he was third in the classic race last year, so really heating up that race now, and he hasn't hit the 12 minutes mark we said before. When will we have the first paddler under it? Is that Jean-Paul? No, 12:01:11, but we have a new leader. Jean-Paul, France. Adam Sake, Czech Republic. Finn Hartstein, Germany. The top three currently, and we have 11 paddlers to go. 11 paddlers to go in this category. We see the start camera. This is a little bit of a preview of what is to come. The category C1 women, which will be the last category concluding that classic race here on the Morta River. But the race is heating up in the men K1. Jean-Paul from France in 12:01. I think it'll be just a matter of time now until we see the first athlete hitting that 12 minutes barrier and deliver a time under that 12 minutes. McIntyre, Robert at the Morta Rock. Difficulties in the approach, gets on the left, but lots of corrections, lots of strokes to correct, get back on the line. Bib 111. Aussie, Robert McIntyre. He will definitely not beat that 12 minutes mark. Good line now, good focus, and he is back in a rhythm. Very good line in this last wavy, stoppery section, about 200 meters above the finish line. He stays well outside the 12 minutes mark, 12:48 into 23rd, and followed by the next French. The next French about to finish just outside 12 minutes, Maxence Barou. His teammate Jean-Paul in the lead was 12:01. Another good French performance by Max Barou into fourth, 12:14, 13 seconds down on his teammate. So unchanged leaderboard, Jean-Paul in the lead. So we go to Spain, España. Fidalgo de León Guillermo, bienvenido at the Morta Rock. Just approaching the 12 minutes. He seems to have had a good race so far. Hasn't hit the 12 minutes yet. He is one of the Spanish team. They stay on the Stoss. They use the steepest funicular of the world every night to go back to their hotel. Now a bit of difficulties in this last section. Offline hits that last stopper, slowed down and needed to accelerate again. Guillermo Fidalgo de León lost a lot of power there, a lot of speed, and crosses the line in 12:22. Is in the top 10 at the moment, 7th. We have 8 paddlers, 6 paddlers to go, and it's basically a race between Italy, Slovenia, Germany. Italy, Slovenia and Germany. Lots of Slovenians, a very, very, very strong country in the men K1 class. But first of those last half a dozen, Davide Maccanan from Italy was bib 114. He is the Italian champion. Good line here, but he must have lost already quite a bit of time further up on the course. Just as a reminder, 4.4 kilometers on the attractive natural river called Muota. In the valley was the same name, Muotatal. So Davide on the finish line, just around 12.5 minutes to paddle those 4.4 kilometers, 15th place. And the first of the Slovenian, we have 4 Slovenians to go. Vid Debeljak at the motor rock. Difficult here, a bit sideways. So he's one of a very, very, very strong Slovenian contingency. After him there is 1 German to go and 3 Slovenians. Almost feels like Slovenian championships to finish this category. But in the lead from France, just outside the 12 minutes, is Jean-Paul. Time of 12:09, and with the Debeljak at the moment well outside that time. Will it be enough for a top 10? No, 16th position for the first of that group of Slovenians. From Germany, Björn Beerschwenger, 26 years of age, collected lots of medals in his career, mainly in the team event. So he hasn't won a medal on the big stage in an individual race. He wants to change that today. Björn Beerschwenger, fighting with the challenges that the Muota River poses to him here at the finish, in the finish section. He stays outside the lead of 12:01, and that looks at the moment even he will even stay outside the top 10. Björn Beerschwenger from Germany, 17s currently. So gold medal will go to either France or Slovenia. We know that because there's 3 paddlers to go and all 3 from Slovenia. So it's either the national anthem from Slovenia or it's the Marseillaise from France that will crown the champion, the world champion in the classic event in the main K1. First of the 3 of the trio, Ance Urankar. And he already lost a bit of time further up, so he will not be a threat for the French. Jean-Paul, undisputed in the lead, with a time of 12:01. Ance Urankar, 12:27 into 12s. 2 to go. Simon Owen, the winner of the race here last year. The leader here, he's still outside 12 minutes. Do we see the new leader? The winner of the Muota race last year here, 2017, Simon Owen. The time to beat, 12:01. And he just does it. 4.2, look at that. New leader, Simon Owen. 11:56. Second, Jean-Paul, 4 seconds down. And from the Czech Republic, holding on to 3rd place, this is Adam Satke. So we have a new leader. He went into the race as a big favorite, Owen Simon. He won here last year, and now his compatriot Nate Sinarcic, a big sprint specialist, the winner of the sprint event last year, and he wants to prove today that he can be better in the classic event, better than just 15s last year at the World Cup. This is the sprint specialist. We'll see him in action again on Saturday and Sunday in the sprint. He won that last year, and he, in the classic event, just finished in the 15th position. Will he beat that time, that place, 15s? He's definitely not in for the win, but a good time just outside the medals, fourth position, Nejc Nidarčić from Slovenia. We have another one. Sorry, didn't look on the page on my start list. I have it all. Of course, there's another one. Apologies, please. Paul Graton from France. He, last but not least, will finish this category K1 men. His compatriot is in second position. He is racing against Simon Owen. Simon Owen, the current leader, and it'll be very, very tight between the two of them. However, it looks like Paul will just stay outside the 12 minutes. But good for a bronze medal. We have a bronze medalist, Paul Graton. Unofficial final result, Simon Owen, Slovenia. Paul Jean, France. The best Swiss in 12s, Linus Bolzen. So this was the men K1. Again, gold in official gold to Simon Owen, Slovenia. Gold for Slovenia. Silver for France. Bronze for France. The Swiss in 12s, Linus Bolzen. So it's Slovenia gold, France silver, and France bronze. And the race continues. We just witnessed Slovenian gold, French silver, a French bronze, and we move straight away in the C1 women class. Canoe, single canoe, relatively new class. In a canoe, the athletes are kneeling in those boats, and they propel the boat with a single-bladed paddle. Rachel Houston just started. We've got pictures of camera one just off the start. Rachel Houston in this women's C1, the last class. And you see, even though it's just a Thursday, normal Thursday, we have quite a lot of spectators joining us here at the River Murta. Alice Panato from Italy. We will see her sister later on as well. Cecilia Panato, two young Italian C1 women. Later today in the Masters event, they will even go into the double canoe in the C2 women. So we've got 16 women C1 paddling it out, fighting it out for the medals in this class. Spectators having a bit of a break down here in the finish area. We haven't seen the C1 women down here. We're actually waiting here at the finish line for the first paddlers. Martin Mahé from Ireland, Hélène Raguenes from France, Margot Béziat from France. And we have, with bib 133, the legend from the Swiss canoe team, Sabine Eichenberger, a multiple world champion, multiple European champion. She was an Olympic silver medalist, the very only Olympic medal in canoeing. Sabine Eichenberger was a part of it. 1996 at the Atlanta Games, she won a silver with the K4, with the women K4 from Switzerland, and she is still paddling. Sabine Eichenberger spoke to her last night. She's in a good shape and is actually looking forward to her last World Championships of her career. She's got a big birthday later on this year in September. I will not release that date, and I will not release the year of birth. You'll find out. Very seasoned athlete, and we'll see and follow her during the next 15 minutes in this C1 class. She came third last year. Will she go on the podium again? Will she end her career on a happy end with another medal? 1:34, Aneska Paludova from the Czech Republic. 23 countries entered their athletes here in the Motor River. It takes many years of training. You need to build up step by step until you can race such a difficult course as the Motor here in the central part of Switzerland. This is actually the area where Switzerland was founded in 1291. Wow, my history teacher would be shocked. I think it's 1291. Please correct me. When Switzerland was founded, it wasn't called Switzerland, but in this region, in this part, they got together. Let's get united and let's move forward. So let's leave history and let's go to current affairs. And we have the first athlete of the C1 women at the Motor Rock from Ireland, Maeve Martin. A little correction stroke just to avoid contact with this rock on the left. The Irish paddler, she's the national champion, and you know, talking about the age and how many years Sabine has been around. She has been around since 1985-86. Here, Martine Maeve, she wasn't born then. She's only 17, so a very young and upcoming athlete from the Republic of Ireland, and she will now set the bar for her class, the very last class of this championship classic individual event. The time to be just outside the 15 minutes. So we had a bit of a confusion. This is Maeve Martin at the finish line, and she sets the bar at 16, just outside 16 minutes. She's followed by the next paddler from France. That's BIP 123. That's Béziat Margot. So yes, we were a bit confused. So the first paddler that crossed the line was Hélène Ragen from France, just outside 15. Then Maeve Martin just finishing Margot Béziat. So we're back at the final section of waves and stoppers. Marie Nemchova from the Czech Republic. Fastest so far, Margot Béziat from France. And Marie still well under 15 minutes. Will she set this new mark after 4.4 kilometers of pure white water? Yes, you have to stay with me a little bit. We don't seem to have the times at the moment, but as soon as we get them, we deliver them to you. And while we wait for those times, we have Olja Lazarevic from Serbia. We are waiting here in the finish area. We said earlier, this is the first World Championship in Switzerland since 1973. Lots of the organizers from 1973 showed up today to watch the new generation in action, not only the new generation of paddlers but the new generation of organizers. So a warm welcome to all those legends of the 60s and 70s who at the time set up those World Championships in 1973. Here we have the paddler from Germany, 126. That's 126, Lutz Maren. He's a young German. This is 126, so don't be confused by the what is said on the screen. This is Lutz Maren from Germany. She will be in action in the C2 class later on as well. And Lutz Maren, she's 19 years of age. .127 in the approach to the Mortar Rock, Katarina Kopunova. She's a C2 Women World Champion of 2016 as well. Paddles in all of them. Tries to be this side of the rock. Yes, got that Mortar Rock. Put the boat a bit sideways, not the ideal lane. Had to slow down to get it. And you can see how difficult that course is. Continuous white water. The boats you see in the background, these are safety boats, just in case one of the athletes capsizes and has to leave the boat, can't roll up. So we've got all the safety people on the riverbank. They would, the swimmers, they would jump in and make sure everything is sound and safe. So in the finish line, representing the Slovak Republic, Katarina Kopunova. And followed by Cecilia Panato, the 16-year-old girl from Italia, from the Italian Federation. She just finishes now. Very fast, high rhythm on the finish line. That is Cecilia Panato from Italy. She was first in this race last year. So we'll see. Again, apologies, I can't deliver you the times at the moment. We seem to have a little technical issue here, but as soon as we have those times, we'll get back to you. And in the meantime, we have the next paddler. It's probably from Croatia. Was 129. Yes, this is Zoe Alba Grzin. She was third at the under-23 Worlds in 2017 from Croatia, and she had to go on the right. And you can probably well spot that is definitely the slower line going on the right side of the Mortar Rock. So that's the Croatian C1 women. Zoe Alba Grzin has a line, very particular line, very much on the left side in this final approach. 200 meters to go, and accelerating a last time. About 50 meters to go now to cross the line. 4.4 kilometers, about 3 miles, just under 3 miles for those who measure in miles. She finishes down here in Ried Mortertal. And here we have the time. Cecilia Panato from Italy, the winner from last year's World Cup here, just under 14 minutes, 13:57. Second from Germany, Maren Lutz, and currently in third, Hélène Ragen from France. We're waiting for the third of last year, Claire Abe from France. And in the lead at the moment, a bit as expected, Cecilia Panato, the 16-year-old Italian, winner of the World Cup last year. It wasn't a World Championship, it was a bit of a test event for the organisers last year. She won that event, but it was a very, very competitive event, a good start line quality in 2017, and the young Italian confirmed this morning that wasn't a fluke last year. So she is in the lead at the moment, but we still have 9 paddlers to go. One of them, the Swiss legend Sabine Eichenberger, who came second last year in that event. So the 131 was us now. The British champion, Rachel Houston. You see, very, very focused. You need to be very, very precise in that line to get it on the left of the mortar rock. She got that, slowed down a little bit, but really, really well done. The British champion, Rachel Houston. You have to be very, very precise in that former slalom section of the Murta River. See those big waves and stoppers, put sideways a little bit, loses some precious time. And here we go, into a bit the flatter part of this course, into the finish line. Rachel Houston, 1:31. So we have no change in the leaderboard. Rachel Houston goes into 8th place. Unchanged in the lead, Cecilia Panato, 13:57. And we have the next boat, Alice Panato, 1:32. 1:32, that's the, and this that was the wrong text. That was the Italian going into the lead. That was the Italian Alice Panato. Now we have the Swiss Sabine Eichenberger just about to finish in the last 50 meters, 70 meters, supported by all the Swiss fans along the river in her last World Championships classic event, Sabine Eichenberger. Here we go, in the finish line. She goes into 4th position. Just 0.6 outside the medals for the moment. 4th position, Sabine Eichenberger. Oh, and here we see what happens. We have a paddle capsized, and you see the swimmers are in there. The athlete is already safe on the riverbank, and it's about the boat that needs to be saved from the river. There are many, many more safety crew members down here. They will take care of that boat. The big team, a big safety team under the guidance, under the lead of Reinhold Riedner, and now you see one of those swimmers in. He is attached with a rope to a colleague at the riverbank, and you see he got hold of the boat. Boat is safe, boat is on the riverbank. Very, very tricky, very difficult to do safety here, but they're well-trained, a well-trained crew. The athlete safe, they got the athlete straight away, and then after that, second priority, get the boats. So we have 2 more boats to go. We have 2 more boats to go in this category, and one of them, the Italian Marlene Ricciardi, with bib 135, and she is fighting with the challenges of this river. She basically parked, got the wrong line, was caught by a current, and is now on the riverbank. She seems to be still in her boat. You see she's coming out and is now overtaken by the Czech paddler Martina Satkova. She is the last paddler of this C1 women event, Martina Satkova, and she is followed by the Italian paddler who parked, and obviously not deliberate, but had to stop, edit out on the bank and lost valuable time. She's basically now 1 minute behind the Czech paddler because they start in a 1 minute interval. So, if technology allows, we would have a final result list. We have to wait. You bear with me. We'll deliver those results. Here we go. We have Satkova Martina from the Czech Republic. Gold to the Czech Republic. Silver to Italy, Cecilia Panato and Maren Lutz from Germany in bronze. Sabine Eichenberger from Switzerland in 5th position. So that concludes the morning. That completes the first event of those 2018 World Championships on the Murta River. We've seen exciting racing in the classic distance, in the individual classic of those 4 categories. Exciting racing will continue this afternoon with a Masters event, and the classic event will be back on tomorrow, but tomorrow we will see the team event of this 2018 World Championships. So for all those who were out there, apologies for our little hiccup. We had some technology issues, as you sometimes have. Really apologize for that on behalf of the organizer. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you again. We'll be back tomorrow with the team event of the Classic. We will be back on Saturday for the sprint event individual. We will be back on Sunday with the team event and the finals of the sprint. And well, last but not least, there's a Masters event this afternoon. So if you want to join us again, in about 40 minutes at 2 o'clock local Central European time, we'll start with the single event of the Masters. Sorry, I'm just making a little mistake. We have 2 classes to go. We have, I'm a bit ahead of myself, so another apologies ahead of myself. Of course, we've got the C2 class to come.